Hi guys, Christopher Cusick here, and welcome to, let me move this light, which is very, very creaky. Welcome to the Christopher Cusick American Horror Story Cult UK After Show, episode 2, where we join after and talk about American Horror Story. I did say last week that I was going to do, episode 2 was on earlier. I did say last week that I was going to do the episodes the day after, but this lighting's bothering me a little. Let's just move it back. I'm actually really busy tomorrow. Now I can't see myself because of shadows. I'm actually really, really busy tomorrow because I've got a lot of stuff to do. So I'm busy tomorrow, so I'm just doing this now. I did film a video earlier today, and if you missed that, I'll just remind you right now, I forgot to give last week's episode a rate, and I rate episode 1 8 out of 10, and a grade of B. This episode, do you know what, I'm not going to keep the grade to the end. I'm going to give you the grade of the episode now, of episode 2, and then give you the reasons why it's got that grade. This is a 9 out of 10. I liked episode 2 more than episode 1, even though there's not enough horror stuff going on, but I don't really care. I really liked it. An 8 out of 10 and an A negative. So yeah, that's what this episode is getting. A negative and a 9. I really enjoyed this episode. So let's talk about what happens. Scene at the start, which I thought was amazing. Not the scene where Ali's, well, first of all, Ali's like, oh, clown, but we'll leave that scene out. When Oz has, I'm going to say nightmare in this episode, they called it a night terror, but I prefer to call this nightmare, but I'll tell you why in a minute. So Oz, Ali and Ivy's son, it's a shot in his room, and the camera zooms in on his nightlight, and you see a hand, clearly Twisted the Clown's hand, because you can see the costume attached onto it. He goes and turns off the nightlight, and Oz is like, what the fuck? So he gets up, he goes over, and he puts it back on, and guess who's right next to him? Twisty the Clown. And he's like, holy, well, he's scared. He doesn't go, holy shit. He hides under his bed. And then the door in his room opens, and it's the clown head with 3 angles and got like the dildo noses. They're not dildos, I'm just calling them. So like not 3 heads, but 3 faces, rather, the 3-faced mask. The 3-faced mask, and that guy comes in, takes off the mattress on the bed, or I don't know what you call it in America, I'm sorry, it might be called something different, takes it off, and Oz is, and this lighting's still bothering me a little, and Oz is like, holy shit, so he runs out the bed, and he runs into his bathroom, and from his that's through another door, and in his bathroom, there's a lock for his door, so nobody can get into the bathroom through his way, and then he runs and closes the main entrance to that bathroom, because it's like a joint bathroom, and then he hides in the bathroom, pulls the bath curtains back, and pulls them back, and hides, but you can see Twisty and the 3-faced mask, the face mask come to the main bathroom door, and I'm only talking about this scene because it's maybe one of my favourite scenes from this episode. And Twisty like smashes open the pane of glass, he opens it and they go over, and then they walk over, open the curtains, and then it cuts to Ali and Ivy in bed making out, and they hear all shouting, "Mum!" They run over, but he's not in the bathroom. He's in his bed. They says, "Don't worry, you're having a night terror." Now, I don't know. I might have a small little issue with that word because when I was younger, I've not said this on my channel. When I was younger, I experienced a lot of night terrors, and it's nothing like a nightmare. You don't even dream anything. I don't know how to describe it. That's how hard it is. And I can tell that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. I wish they changed the word to nightmare. Just because I don't see that as a night terror. It's hard. Let's talk about night terrors. Why the fuck not? Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. It's when I've heard it's when your full body shuts down, but the only functioning part is your brain. Your brain is awake, and it's like your brain is a demon, and it takes control of your body, and you're not in control of your body. It's like your brain is, even though you should be in control of your brain, but it's like your brain controls you, and it's not intentional. So there's two kind of aspects to it. There's like inside. I don't know what's like. It's not like a dream whatsoever. It's hard to describe. You can tell when you're in a night terror. It's just. I think I used to describe it as it feels like someone's pulling your skin really, really hard, but I don't know that's the right word to say. It's a lot of like stress and oh my god, I don't know. It's just really, really hard to describe. I can't remember that I've not had one in ages. It's like I don't know. Is it like you're falling? I can't remember. I've not had one in ages. It's sometimes like you're falling. I don't know. It feels like things are just pulling apart, and you're put into like millions of pieces. And I think I've been covering up the microphone. I'm very, very sorry, guys. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I have. So hopefully you guys heard me. Yeah, it feels like you're being pulled into millions of pieces, and it just feels very, very painful. So that's what it's like. Feels like to feel inside of a night terror, but the outside of a night terror, you could be sleeping. Well, this has happened to me. My dad told me I slept well. I had a night terror, and I was sleeping. My eyes were open. Like in my sleep, my eyes were wide open. Here's a little funny story about a night terror of mine. I don't know. So I had a night terror, and this is when my sister lived in my house. My sister doesn't live here anymore. She had me running about because I was walking in my sleep, and and you talk in your sleep too. I don't know, I'm going through a lot of pain, I don't know what I'm doing, and my sister's telling me what I done. Apparently I says, touch my head. She's like, what? Touch my head. So she touches my head, and then I go, scampi, and then I just run. I don't know, I can't remember the rest of that story, but that's just a little story about a night terror. So that's just me saying, what Oz had was a nightmare, not a night terror. and I'm not really happy with them using that word, but it's only a small issue. I don't see it as a massive issue. I just, like, wish people, like, maybe not a lot of people has been there. I'm not saying I wish a lot more people was, but I just wish that more people had an understanding of what a night terror is. Yeah, so let's end the talk about night terrors. What else will we talk about in this episode? I've also got a CD that I'll come to soon. What else will we talk about in this episode? So, the new neighbours have moved in, I'm so sorry, I think it was the Chengs that died in episode 1. They died, episode 1. The family of them across the street. And, characters move in. Billy Eichner's character, and I can't remember who plays his wife, but I actually think it's Naomi, Leslie Grossman. So that's awesome, Leslie Gross. I might be wrong, but I was kind of confused when I first seen the characters, cause Billy Eichner's character was wearing this scary suit, and I thought, holy shit, what the fuck is that? And then it kind of made me a little tense, to be honest. And then I got nervous, and turns out he's like a beekeeper. He has bees, so I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And what else about the characters? I don't know. They're a little creepy. In Cult, everyone's creepy, to be honest. Yeah. Everyone's creepy. What else can we talk about in this episode? I was going to say what I think's going to happen next, but I seen the promo for next week. But do you know what? I'll be honest, this is the last promo I'm watching next week. I won't be watching any more episode promos. I will just stay away from the promos, and I'll let my mind go wild. Yeah, but let's just say episode 3 looks good. What else did I like about this episode? I'm trying to think. What did I like about this episode? I liked... Oh, Evan Peters. So what's going on with Evan Peters' character? So wait, let's talk about what's happening to Ivy in this Ali. What's happening to Ali in this episode? Well, should I put a bit of background light on? No, I don't like that. Let's just put a front-facing light. Yeah, maybe if it's like closer down. Yeah, like that. That's good. Like, what happens to Ali in this episode? Well, once again, just getting scared shitless, thinking clowns are everywhere. Evan Beale's character comes to her door, and he goes a little crazy. And he talks something about fear, and you're just like, what? Fear? What are you talking about? But she kind of gets freaked out and closes the door. And, in this scene, by the way, she has the, I don't know what to call it, like, bars attached to the window and doors, because she just doesn't feel secure, so she closes everything. Evan Peters in this episode, I don't think Evan Peters was in that much. I think that's all I can talk about for Evan Peters' character in this episode. Yeah, I also, yeah, so I'll talk about the end. Oh, I should have also said, I almost forgot, but there is spoilers. I'll mention that in the description, and there was spoilers for last week's episode too, so if you're back, don't watch for spoilers. So the end, we'll talk about the end, what happens in the end. Ali, well, there's a blackout and everything's went off. Ali is in the house with Oz. Well, Winter was there, but Winter is like, I gotta go. So you're like, okay. So you're like, okay. So, and Ivy is at work, doing working stuff, I guess. And so Ali and Oz is in the house, and they're quite scared. And you know, Ali sees clowns. She runs and gets a gun. She actually got from the new neighbours. Yeah, and what else? I feel uncomfortable. I need this cushion. And, yeah, so Ivy, who's at work, she puts stuff in a box, like candles, like just some basic survival stuff, and she asks one of the workers to go to the house to deliver that, and like Ali's shitting herself, just whatever she sees she'll shoot, and like that she see the guy who delivers like this package. By the way, Ivy couldn't get in contact with her because like her phone died, so that's why she sent like the package and asked the guy to deliver that. And Ali's just like, holy shit, gets scared, shoots, kapow, he's dead. Yeah, that's how the episode ends. I was going to talk about something else in the episode, but I think it's kind of gone. Something to do with winter. It got me thinking about when I was thinking about Ali and Ivy. I cannot remember what I was going to... wait. What happened? What else happened in this video I was going to talk about? I think I was going to talk about Winter's character. Winter's character. Winter is a character. I don't know. I'll maybe come back to it. But let's get on to my little series time. This series, by the way, this is like not one I've read online. It's just one that got into my own mind. I don't know, someone else in the world might have also thought about this, but I don't know. So this is to do with Kai and Winter. I think this series started in my brain when I went online and kind of found out both their second names are Anderson, and they do live together. People think they're brothers. I don't know. The relationship's not really been confirmed of what they are. Like people assume brother and sister because that's like the way they act. But my little theory is that they are actually husband and wife. But you might be thinking, I don't know, Christopher, I don't really think so. They don't seem that way. Right, let me explain. In episode 1, I honestly think this was maybe bad choice of script writing, but then it got me thinking, wait, okay. So when right after Trump has been elected, Winter is on the phone to a friend, and she's like, what if I get pregnant? What if I get pregnant and stuff? And you're like, why would she get pregnant? So I'll just jump into what I think my theory. Then I'll talk about my backup evidence. I think, I've already talked about it, but I think Kai is actually a bit of an abusive and sexually abusive husband towards Winter. So what is my evidence? First of all, that she's like, what if I get pregnant? Which makes me think, what if like Kai has attempted rape on her? And also another piece of evidence was when they done their pinky to pinky, flesh to flesh thing in episode 1, when Kai says to her, what are you scared of? And she says, honestly, you. So that does clarify she is scared of him. So I think they're kind of like in a... But not just not just abusive and sexually abusive. I also think that he kind of orders her around. So I think that might be like what's happened. They've got married and then he's like taking that to his advantage, Kai, and was like, do all that shit for me. So yeah. Right. Oh yeah, now I remember what I was going to talk about earlier. There was a scene I was going to talk about, that scene earlier on in the episode. So this is actually after the start, right after Oz is scared. He goes into... Or actually, is it after? I don't know. But Oz goes into Ali and Ivy's room and he's like, can I sleep in here? I'm scared. And they're like, that's absolutely fine. And then on Ivy's phone, she finds out, like, via like technology stuff, the alarms went off at the work, butchery on Main. And Ivy's like, I'm going to go. And Ali's like, no, I'll go. And Ivy's like, if it looks like someone's broken in, just call the police straight away. So Ali goes, and I really like this scene. Ali... Oh, right, let's talk about what happens earlier before this, near the start of the episode, because this will make more sense of how... So there's a bit of an argument. There's... In the work, there's a group of, like, immigrants. It's kind of mixed, a bunch of mixed people. So there's immigrants and there is, like, white people too. And the white guy was being quite violent to one of the immigrants, saying, I'm going to shove this bit of metal up your arse. And Ali, like, breaks it up. I don't know that white guy's name. But when Ali goes back, everything seems pretty normal. But I think she notices something in, like, the butchery room, because there is a room where, like, hanging meat is. Now, the first time I seen this, when I seen this scene, I was like, oh my god, the sound effects. What is so compelling about the sound effects is, has anybody, like, okay, I am 100% certain that the sound effects are from the video game PTE, Silent Hill PTE, because it sounds exactly like the sound effects from the hanging the chandelier in the game Silent Hill PTE. I've played it on my channel. sounds so alike, and I was just like, oh my god. And like, that is one of the scariest games ever. And you know, that is a way to get some like gamers scared. But I was like, holy shit, I don't know if they're legally allowed to do that. But I don't really know. I don't know if they're legally allowed to do that. Maybe they had the rights to, maybe they did pay a price. I don't know. But turns out the white guy who was shouting to an immigrant, "I'm going to shove this piece of metal up your arse," was hanging on like one of these meat hooks. So yeah, I just like that scene because of that. I don't think we have much else to talk about, which makes this episode 10 minutes shorter than last week's episode. Okay. Before I do these live streams, I'm gonna tweet out. I'm gonna put on a Facebook page because I've not been doing that, and like I've had no views on this, but I'll get views on this after. Is there anything else I want to talk about this episode? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, just to remind you, this episode, 9 out of 10 and a grade of -8. I loved this episode better than episode 1. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to end the episode there. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode of the Christopher Cusick American Horror Story Cult UK After Show. If you live in the UK, American Horror Story is on every Friday at 10 PM on Fox. If you have Sky TV, that's 124. I don't know any of the other numbers, but yep. Or if you live in America, that's 10 PM on Tuesday, I believe. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for next week's episode. I also have my Coven t-shirt on, but I think my okay. I think my right, it's just saying rotate device back because the orientation is already done. I thought my phone was glitching out, so I just wanted to show you that. My t-shirt. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Watch American Horror Story wherever you're from. Everyone's welcome to watching this. Stay tuned for this next week. I am Christopher Cusick. Stay tuned for another episode of the After Show, and stay tuned for more American Horror Story. I'm Christopher Cusick, and good night.